Okay, so the Jilly Juice, you know, I have made some claims that it's going to have you live life indefinitely, reverse cancer, disease, and chronic illness, and all of that. Have you see things for what they really are. You're going to see all the politics play out. That's why you got to do J Juice. Recognize the manipulations, the psychological manipulations. Recognize the socialist medicine that keeps people's spirit completely like suppressed. Recognize in your friends and family what their lifestyle is and how it is that they may not get this, they may not understand, and how you're going to come to terms with that. But you stay on Jilly Juice long enough, okay, you're going to see what the outcome, what the intention is. The outcome is the intention. And so what's going on right now is the intention, okay? It's not something that is like a byproduct of unintended consequences. No, this is exactly the intention. All of this conflict and this chaos is from the consequences of people under so many different drugs, under so much alcohol, under despair, under the withholding of good information. And so now that those of you that are on J Juice, you're going to still do what you're going to do, okay? But you're not going to really take part in the war. You're going to watch. You're going to watch. You're going to be able to watch, and you're going to predict what the outcome is for your friends, for your family, for politics. And no matter what happens, even if the communists, whatever, do take over, even if, you know, the Republicans could be infiltrated and sympathize with the Chinese, though we have our own doctrine, but now we're like the Chinese and communists. And no matter what, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and the laws of our land is what gives us the due process, so no one can just haul you into jail for having a thought process. You have to abide by the laws of the land, okay? There is nothing illegal about salt. There's nothing illegal about cabbage, water, probiotics, okay, kale. There is nothing illegal about that. You have to adhere to advertising laws if you're going to promote something like J Juice on the open web. I mean, as far as advertising on a website, but you can say almost anything you want as far as J Juice on social media. And no matter what happens to our society, and yes, you're going to see a lot of destruction around you. It's going to suck. You'll still live. Find the like-minded people in your world. Find the like-minded people. You know, I already created my community. I have. Some might question whether or not they're doing the J Juice because they haven't given me really a testimony. But that's okay. You don't always have to. But find the people that you know are hardcore on the J Juice, because they're going to be the ones that are going to stick around. They're not going to disappear in 10, 15 years, degrade, and you're going to watch them degrade. Because that's going to be the toughest thing about being on J Juice, is knowing what's going to happen to your friends and family in the next 5 to 10 years. And you have to prepare for that. And you can't really prepare for things like that to people that you love so closely next to you. Okay? So find your people on the J Juice. Not the people that you have, that you share like-minded stuff that's not on the J Juice, because they're gonna be degrading the system. People are gonna change body, mind, and spirit. They're not gonna be the same person they were, 5 or 10 years, ago or whatever. And so the consistency in relationships of the people that are going to want to stay alive, that want to be alive, or you have some kind of other common ground with people that are not doing the J Juice. But you still stick with people that are not doing the J Juice because you have a common ground with them today, but things are going to change in the future. But find and keep the people that are doing J Juice and promote J Juice to people that are open to it, that are in your world, because those are going to be the people that are going to be with you for a long ass time. How long? I have no idea, because I can't predict the future. But I'm telling you that, the world is changing. The climate is changing. They could say it's a climate hoax and all of that. That's fine. They could be geoengineering the weather. Okay, fine. They could be putting out all these viruses. Okay, fine. But guess what? You're on the J Juice. It's not going to affect you. it's not going to affect you. Yes, your body's gonna, has to be strong enough to fight the elements and the exposure to what could potentially be either new discoveries of viruses or man-made ones, but who cares? It doesn't even matter where it originated from. What matters is the fact that your body is strong enough to handle the changes in the environment. And that is the bottom line with Jilly Juice. It doesn't even matter who did what, whether it was intentional or whether it's accidental or whether it was just natural causes, organic, not being influenced by anyone or anything. But everything is influenced by everyone or anything, because you can't live in a world where there's no kind of fluctuation in the elements. There's always be fluctuation in the elements. But the J juice will stabilize and keep you in a homeostasis. Okay, that's what the J juice does. It keeps you in a homeostasis. And then when you get exposed to anything that's a bit more aggressive than you're used to, your body will adjust. And then you recognize what those symptoms are, and you don't try to stop it. You actually allow the body to adjust. You blow your nose, you go poop, you do whatever you got to do to allow your body to adjust to the new environment, whatever it is. I mean, I spent 12 hours in the hospital the other day waiting for someone's outcome as far as what was going to happen as far as a heart attack. And so I've been exposed, eating at the lunch line in the hospital where germs are flying everywhere. They're on the seats, they're on the toilets, they're in the cafeteria, they're in the air. You cannot get away from aggressive environments with viruses, with bacteria that have been, that have been invaded by viruses. You just can't get away from that. So you're going to have your body be strong enough to adjust to the conditions, whatever they are, whether it's cold to warm or an aggressive environment with lots of germs, to a very benign alkaline environment where there's nothing except for a white room. But that's the point of J juice, is being able to adapt to changes, whether it's political changes or whether it's environmental changes, okay, or relationship changes. You'll have the ability to adapt and still be logical, not come from emotion and being all freaking freaked out. Though, my last transmission, I was a bit more like, okay, because I'm trying to point out the extremism. Because when you have major imbalances in your body, mind, and spirit, and you have major hormonal disparities, where there's so much adrenaline or so much oxytocin, and you're coming from love, 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 and hate, 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 and everything in between, and that's going to manifest in extremism in politics, whether you are a Black Panther or you're a white supremacist. Okay, whether you're Antifa or you're KKK. When you are trying to shove and promote something in such a violent way and shove it down someone's throat, you're no different. When Antifa is trying to force an ideology and want to promote violence, and a KKK person and a white supremacist trying to force an ideology and commit violence, there is no difference between the two. You can't tell the difference between the two. And that's what we're trying to mitigate, is the extremism in bodies, as far as major disparate imbalances, as well as in the politics. But remember, the bodies replicate the politics. Okay? So you have to understand there's a correlation to the body, mind, and spirit, and then someone's politics, and then who's feeding them information in the background, making them act or be influenced in some way. Okay, so once you do the J juice and you start seeing changes in your body, mind, and spirit, you're going to take yourself out of the war. 9/11 is not going to be an inside job. It could have been a conspiracy from the Chinese trying to destabilize America, and you're promoting that. Some of you still buy into the 9/11 inside job. You have no idea. Yeah, all the videos out there that are professionally done, but you wonder who professionally did them and why. They want to make you think that somebody in the American government is trying to kill you. Maybe they are. Maybe it's a communist. Maybe it wasn't George Bush. Maybe George Bush and the Republicans are trying to save America while the Democrats are trying to completely destroy it. But you have no idea because you're being fed all of these things. So that's what I'm saying. When you do the J juice, you get off all the politics until you can really start making the connection to something that you've experienced. The reason why I'm able to make these connections with the communist stuff is because I worked with the Communist Party then unknowingly in San Francisco. So that's why I switched now from the politics to politics, because I was heavily political in California. But if I did not have that experience, then I would not even be mentioning MLK as a possible communist. I would not be mentioning JFK as a possible potential communist. I would not be mentioning anything about 9/11 because, but now that I seen that there's a rebranding of all this stuff, now I can comfortably come from that point of view and speculate. But some of you can't even afford to speculate because you've never experienced anything except for what you read on the internet. You never physically, I was physically 4 years in the offshoot of the Communist Party called the Independent Movement, run by Fred Newman from the 1960s. Okay? But some of you have not even had that kind of experience. And so all you're doing is regurgitating and parodying from something from the internet because you are blaming your issues on something else. Okay? So until you've actually experienced something and then seen the lies and seen the rebranding and understand that we're dealing with extremism on both ends, fascism, and then communism, until you actually understand that that's what we're dealing with, and then you have imbalances yourself, promoting your imbalances onto the American people and whoever else, you have no leg to stand on until you actually understand and see physically with your eyes. Okay? And then experience it by understanding the and not believing everything for fucking face value on the freaking YouTube. How many people have watched Alex Jones, The Obama Deception? How many people watched, you know, what is it called? Was it Penny or Cents or something? It's the whole 9/11 bullshit. There are people like the Communist Party trying to undermine America, and they shapeshift and they rebrand. And then you're thinking that everybody in the American government is horrible. And then you start going into the whole thing with the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all this other stuff. You know, who cares? At this point, stay alive. Stay alive, drink the J juice, because let me tell you, 500 million people from 7 billion is a lot of people, but it's still, 7 billion is a lot of people. And going from 7 billion to 500 million, if that is truly the case, and that's the outcome of this Georgia Guidestones, you want to be the ones, you want to be in front of the 500 million. Because society is going to change, but if you're not willing to put forth the work, you're not going to be able to see it. Because you're still stuck in your conspiracy world. Stay alive. Stay alive, get well, and then you can then logically, with calmness, start looking at all the evidence from a very different point of view. Because there's evidence. People are writing the evidence, but you don't know what kind of spin. You don't know who hired them. You don't know anything about these people who create these videos. You don't even know who the hell Alex Jones is. You have no idea who any of these pundits are that are leaders in the conspiracy world. You have no idea their intentions. You have no idea who paid them. People think that MLK was so wonderful. Yeah, he talks a great game, but was there something else that he was involved with that was trying to undermine America? And then, yes, this is what I'm putting out there. Not everything is what it seems. Okay? So do the J juice so you can start uncovering the truth by declouding your brain. Stop feeding into the propaganda and start realizing the truth at the cellular level, who you are. And then you start reading the stuff and you're like, holy shit, holy crap. Because you have no idea who people are until you know yourself. And if you don't even know yourself and you haven't peeled back the layers of all the programming as far as your body, mind, and spirit, you'll be easily influenced, highly influenced, easily suggestible, and then you're going to go to your grave with all of your conspiracies. Oh, 9/11 was inside Java. As your body is degrading. Anti-vax, all that stuff. So believe me, if the vaccines were meant to kill you, you'd be dead. And if the government who claims that vaccine saves lives, and you're saying they want to kill you, they would take away the vaccines and let everybody just then succumb to the elements. They would take away biotech. So that way you have nobody in your community because there's no modern medicine, no vaccines, no nothing. And so then Mother Nature can come in and be the one to determine if you are fit enough to live. And let me tell you, there are babies out there that are not fit enough to live, no matter how many vaccines or not how many not vaccines they get, they don't have enough of what it takes to live. So if you want to go there, you anti-vaxxers, You conspiracy theorists thinking that the government's trying to kill you. Okay? Take away all your remedies, your pills, your powders, your supplements, your colloidal silver, your herbs, your cannabis. Take away all of that. And see how long you fare in the elements when you're not giving your body what it needs, especially on predispositions. So now you have to figure out, yes, the government loves you, but there are people out there that are trying to undermine it. And now it's a question of who it is and why, and not to throw away the baby with the bathwater, because that's what the conspiracy community is doing, is they're throwing away the baby with the bathwater. They're not being, they don't have enough what it takes to really see what this shit is for what it is, because they've been fed so much stuff in the conspiracy world. Alex Jones has done a number on our nation. He is the scourge of America. Alex Jones is. And his friend Michael Adams. So I'm over the Alex Jones community. Over it. Good luck, you guys. Drink the J Juice.